Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the counselor's office. I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor. I do another video shouting out. We are 4,000 subscribers. Appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. Shout out to my greatest fan, Nanok. I'm sure his the drama stirring the pot helped spotlight the channel, and we got a shit ton more people to subscribe. Shout out to you, my #1 fan. You're awesome. Anyways, today we're talking about a memorial. That's right, we're giving a memorial. As Destiny 2 seemingly seems like it's gonna die. It's dying. It's not dead, but it's dying. Here's the deal. We're gonna look back through history. We're gonna take a little sneak peek. As today, as I'm recording, the next day, not so much, but the day that I'm recording this is a monument to the sins of Bungie. That's right, the sins of Bungie. What I'm talking about is the Destiny Content Vault. That's right, it officially marks 5 years today as I'm recording, November 10th. Bungie introduced the Destiny Content Vault, removing 5 raids, 3 campaigns, 6 destinations, and more from Destiny 2. And I'd be very interested to see what exactly was removed. It was also at this time that we got a... Let's move this over. Yeah, they removed a shit ton of content. And we're gonna say this right now. Don't let anyone tell you, it doesn't matter if it's been 10 years. You have a right to complain, criticize, hate, make fun of, and point out the failures of Bungie for removing paid content. Don't let anyone tell you, oh, you weren't really playing who gives a fuck? You buy a product, you have a right to go back to it at any point, at any time, to play the thing to which you purchased. It's like the new cars. If you bought a new car and then they decided to remove the features. They remove the features, right? And then suddenly you can no longer use those features of the car. You're like, what the fuck? I paid for the car. Why are you removing it? Funny enough, I think they're actually making you have to buy more features in certain cars. Like, I'm actually very interested in this. Cars now make you buy extra features. Yes, growing trend is that some automakers are forcing you to subscribe to features that are already physically in the car, like heated seats or advanced drive systems. Holy shit. It's like you have stuff you have it. You bought it. You bought the thing, but then they remove the ability to use it. Holy shit, this is actually a good comparison to the shit Bungie's doing, because no one likes this shit at all. Holy crap. But yeah, that's a perfect example. Don't let anyone gaslight you and say that you can't be upset. You can. You have a right to be upset. Even funnier that you can get the Red War weapons from Crucible tab and Destination. Yeah, that's an insult to injury. Let's not forget the strikes they removed. Yeah, all the strikes they removed, all the content, even the 360 version is still up. Woo! Hey, bars, all the Destiny 1 content is still in the game. Yeah, Destiny 1's still up and running. So just don't let anyone who loves to use this, I'm so tired of people complaining about the content. No. This is a sin that Bungie will have to wear for the rest of their existence, and rightly so. And this kind of shit is why Stop Killing Games is getting traction, is because they stole from you. Don't let anyone try to play this mental gymnastics. We all know that Bungie stole from the community. They removed content that was paid for. They had no right to do it. And now, fast forward 5 years from now, they're doing it again, but in the form of soft sunsetting. You're paying for content, and they have soft sunset 90% of the game. That's right, 90% of the game is now irrelevant because of the portal. Bungie continues to make the same mistakes, but they do it with a different flavor, a different color. It's like, hey guys, we did shit stain, but this time it's shit stained with yellow. But yeah, the Red War, even if you didn't play the campaign constantly, that's also a issue with the fact that the developers didn't give you a reason to play the campaign. But secondly, there are people who do like going back. I used to like going back through some of the old campaigns. I played Witch Queen multiple times, more than just what I did at launch. But Red War really was a good expansion to introduce new players. Leviathan is probably hailed as one of the best things that Destiny 2 at launch had going for it. And it was a fun little raid. Gone. Especially the prestige version. Crown of Sorrow, Scourge of the Past, the Black Armory content. Yes, and I know this is like seasonal stuff, but I'm still going to point out seasonal shit. Like, I don't think any paid content should not leave. If it's like Diablo 4 where it's free seasons, but except for the battle pass that you pay for, I think that's fine. Anything you pay for, I think it's just, I will never agree removing paid content ever, whether it's seasonal or whether it's expansion wise. It's all just bullshit. Yeah, all this content, and we could probably look at more. You know what the worst part is? They have the assets for Leviathan. All they need to do is recode the rest of the raid and you're good. Yeah, they just, instead of bringing back Leviathan, they just sold you the Leviathan a second time and then removed it, right? You paid for the Season of the Nightmare and then they removed it. It's like, what a fucking insult. Let's see. What was all removed in the Destiny 2 content vault? Destiny removed various campaigns, raids. Let's see. Campaigns, the Red War, Curse of Cyrus. I'm not missing it. Warmind, Forsaken. I'm absolutely fucking missing it. So our destinations, we lost Mars, Io, Titan, Mercury, Tangle Shore, Tribute Hall. We have the firing range now, but the Tribute Hall was the OG. The farm, I'm not really missing yet. Leviathan, Eater of Worlds, Spire of Stars, Scourge of the Past, Crown of Sorrow, everything prior to Guard of Salvation except Last Wish. Seasonal content, all seasonal content and narrative from Year 2, including Year 2 Annual Pass, Season of the Forge, Drifter, and Opulence. Many seasonal storylines have been lost, making it difficult for new players to understand certain plot points. Other exotic quests. Yeah, there's a bunch of exotic quests that are still not in here. Certain vendors. And I think Forcer has made a great point. I dislike the argument that it was lesser played content because that varies from player to player. I played more Scourge of the Past during its 2 years of existence than Garden of Salvation and the last 6. So for me, Garden should have been vaulted instead. I agree. Garden was awful. I love how the content vault had followed and marked Bungie like it should. It's funny. Let's see what the comment sections have to say. Promised it would help with maintenance. Made it worse. Promised to release content from the vault. Never did. Got into a lawsuit and is losing due to content being missing. No. I don't know if they're losing, but it did make it fucking funny that was being used. The judge is like, hey, you can't use my name's by content. You can't use YouTube videos to supplement your argument. Listen, it's kind of funny. We'll talk about the lawsuit later, maybe eventually, but it's fucking funny. They did promise the maintenance, and we can all agree that they have not fixed the game. The whole argument, well, they made it was for the benefit of the game, except the game's crashing constantly. In fact, I think the game is more unstable now than it was pre, content vaulting. Like the game was running better before the content vault stuff. And so it feels like it's worse. There is no content vault. They deleted all this content. That's right. But they have officially admitted, especially in court. We got it through court. It took the court case for us to finally find out that all previous, everything for Forsaken and back is gone. They can't even play it. Bungie cannot even play the old content. It's just gone. They would have to make it from scratch. They deleted all this content to the point that they didn't even have access to show the lawsuit, instead pulling third-party videos from YouTube. The few that remained after their mass takedown of cutscene repost, by the way. This is funny. There was a moment where Bungie was going around shutting down people's videos of the cutscene because they wanted you to go to their channel to watch it. So fucking funny. I played until Beyond Light. It was then I realized that in the end, Bungie is just going to pull the plug on all this and it will just be gone. I would have sucked in thousands of hours, hundreds into this and never actually own a single pix of it. That's true. And that's why things like stop killing games is so important, to really give the middle finger to these developers who think that they can just make you pay for shit and you don't own it. So this is why I will always promote regulations and things that keep these companies ball and chained and making sure that they do justice to the consumer. Yes, deleting history, another way to hate Bungie. Yeah. This decision regarding DCV is probably the worst decision Bungie has ever made. Yeah, imagine the fucking world. It's crazy that they have made a mock-up of what the world could have been. This would have been such a fire fucking game with from the beginning to the end, with all the storylines and all the seasonal narratives. If you could go back and replay it, it would have been a fire. Like, now obviously there's storylines like Lightfall that kind of suck dick, and the whole year of Edge of Fate was just awful. But the OG stuff like Forsaken and even Red War was good. I feel like it would have been enough to keep people involved and keep new players. Crazy Thought Star Wars add-on is a season. Star Wars DLC will go away just like the Dreadnought. No, unfortunately, we will have eternal. Remember, Bungie's getting rid of no longer doing supers or abilities, because now the planetary ability is now the replacement. Like, think Matter Spark. It's part of the game, but it's only part of Kepler. That's because Bungie's too lazy to have to actually make new things that impact the world. They would rather self-contain it so that way they don't have to babysit anymore. Pretty sure they said that eventually everything would come back, or am I wrong? That's what they said. I don't know about that. Red War can't return since they deleted all files in Eve. Even if they rebuild it, it needs to be updated to the current engine, and I'm sure they have come out with an excuse for other removed content. They did make the statement that they wanted to revamp and update the quality of everything, I'm assuming of everything, and it would come back when the time was right, but that doesn't seem to be the case since it was so long ago. They lied. Yeah. This is another great lie of Bungie. They didn't delete anything, dumbass. Your second part of what people misconstrued as being deleted. But yes, of course, all content would have been rebuilt from the ground up before it can come back. It's common sense. Yeah, not that it matters anymore. You gotta love this. You gotta love. They didn't delete it. It's not part of the game. It's not even. They cannot play it. If the code is not in the game anymore, it's been deleted. That's what delete means. The code exists, but not in the game. They deleted it out of the game. The code is gone. It's gone. They don't even have a usable version of the game. And they are the developers. Dude, some of the Bungie ball fondlers are so fucking stupid. 3 campaigns, Red War, Curse of Osiris, Warmind, Forsaken. Aren't those 4? Technically, yeah. Biggest mistake Bungie, we don't talk about Curse of Osiris though. Biggest mistake Bungie made with Destiny, when the game reached a point where content had to be removed, especially good content like that, they should have released Destiny 3. Replacing good quality with poor quality has meant that D1 is arguably now better than D2. Shame. Please let me be a little more specific with your title. 5 years ago today, Bungie introduced their worst idea ever, the Destiny content involved, removing 5 raids, 3 campaigns, 6 destinations, and lots more Destiny 2. No, they stole from the community. They stole experience, they stole memories, they stole your money, and they stole what made, like, this was the fundamental breakdown of Destiny, in my opinion. Because ever since then, the new player experience has been dog shit. And let's get this straight. The portal would never exist if the sunsetting didn't happen. Bungie would not feel compelled to make the portal and all the yada yada bullshit decisions they've made if they didn't sunset the content that they put in the vault, right? If the great vaulting never happened, Destiny would I wouldn't say be in a great place. It would have been in a better place. I still think some of the fundamental issues of Destiny would still be there, but I think the new player experience would be significantly better. I think there would be more content for people to get lost in the sauce, more refreshes Bungie can do. There's a lot more play time, a lot more things to sink your teeth into. And to think that the judge said lore videos couldn't be used for their defense. Yeah, hilarious, absolute hilarious attempt for Bungie. Hot take, I do not mind that destinations going away, since realistically who was going to them and just doing activities there as Mars was brought because escalation, but that's kind of it. The raids and campaigns going away and never refurbished is criminal. I think the problem with the world is because Bungie, like if you look at Diablo 4, there are parts of the world that were never used, or at least when I played. I have not played since the expansion, the most recent one. The last time I played was the vampire season for Diablo, so way back in the day, right? But I think Diablo did a good job to make you explore the world and interact with the world and have viability. Bungie's just never gave a shit about making the world better. Now, I will say Destiny 1 interacting with the world felt more significant, especially like during certain releases. There was like little events, like you might during the you know, what was the wolves were wandering around the public space. Like there were things that Bungie could have done for Destiny 2 to make those destinations more unique, and or should I say unique, but they were unique, more viable to play with. And you could say the same thing currently now. Like Kepler itself is a good example of Bungie making an empty husk of a world. Their attempt of saving and making you replay the world is secrets. Guys, you like secrets, you like puzzles, even though I would say 90% of the secrets and puzzles and Edge of Fate and Kepler were just annoying bullshit. Like, guys, here's this, look for the secret, and it's just a node around the fucking corner of a rock. And it just highlights that Bungie lacks the capacity, the intellectual creativity to actually make the world interesting. And instead it's just boring. It's no one, like I would say 90% of people don't even interact with Kepler anymore because it's just that fucking pointless. And that is Bungie's creation. Should have called it the content shredder, because I don't think any of that is coming back ever. I would be surprised. I'm gonna be honest, and this might be a bold, spicy take. I think we are more likely to get Wrath of the Machine before we get any of the old content from Destiny 2 back. I know that's a fucking spicy take, but I think we're more likely to get Wrath of the Machine back before we get like Forsaken campaign and all this other shit. I know that was a spicy take, but I still think I think everything that's in the vault will forever stay in the fucking vault. 5 years ago, they introduced a system that exponentially increased the time it took for the franchise to die. It's been on decline since they introduced sunsetting. Hold on, he's cooking. He's cooking. All right, so let's see. Beyond Light. This is where it all went downhill. Yeah, I mean, This is Launch of Red War. This is Curse of Cyrus. Warmind saw an increase and then shot up with Forsaken. Like Forsaken, that's like 3 million players is a shit ton. And then we dropped down to Shadowkeep. You know, we lost about, I mean, it wasn't like, it did expedite it. Like when we're talking about dropping numbers beyond, like, it did a fucking number. Like this is the through the seasons. And then Witch Queen kind of brought it back a little bit. And then the hype from Witch Queen brought in, from that, we've just kind of gone downhill. Lightfall tried to save it. People came back for the last hurrah for the final shape. And you could just see how it just dipped to oblivion and it's gone. Like, you look at this, you see this chunk. Destiny was kind of stable-ish here. It's been obviously dipping. But I would agree. I think that the way that we were, it was dipping for Forsaken. But Shadowkeep showed us that people were still very much interested in Destiny. And I think this was because people were like, okay, Activision's gone, Bungie's on their own, this is it. So there was a lot more faith that shit was going to be good. Then Lightfall proved us wrong. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting who we're talking about. Yeah, you need to remember Bungie has shown us how bad they are at basic coding and thinking. They may not have a working dev kit or access to one anymore. No, Bungie does not have access to any coding. What's up, Echo? Sorry I didn't see you. And then we have Frog, the god of frogs. I don't believe them when they said it's all deleted. I believe them because they're that incompetent. 6 destinations? Yep, yes. Question mark? Man, I keep seeing this guy. This guy does not, or this person doesn't like me. And you can tell that they don't even know anything about Destiny. They're a new light. They're definitely a new light because they're like 6 destinations. These are people that probably suck the dick of Bungie and they don't even fucking know. Don't forget 11 Destiny, 2 PvP maps, and many of them were really good. Yeah. 11 Destiny 2. Yeah, there was a shit ton of PvP maps. What were all the Destiny 2 PvP maps vaulted? All right, so this is back. This is back. This is back. Cauldron. What? Convergence. Endless Veil, the Fortress, Fragment. This is just listing everything that we have. This isn't listing anything that was removed. It's listing everything we have in the game currently. Okay, there are 6 PvP maps left in the vault. So they removed some, they brought it back. Retribution, Legion's Gulch, Emperor's Respite, Firebase Echo, Gambler's Ruin. Dude, I love fucking Gambler's Ruin. Equinox. The other 9 map. I remember it. Yeah. This one, people fucking hate Equinox because it's a scout map. They brought it back, by the way, just so I believe they brought it back after the vaulting and then put it back in the vault. I'm pretty sure. I feel like it was after the fact. Gambler's Ruin literally came back for Forsaken and didn't stick around. I don't know why. Firebase Echo. Emperor's Respite, they took it away, brought it back, and then removed it again. Which sucks because I thought Respite was kind of cool, but I don't know. Legion's Gulch was fun. I loved it. Retribution, aka the Death Donut. Dude, I fucking love the Death Donut. The Death Donut was fucking fun. That was a great close quarters fucking map. The Death Donut, bro, that's crazy. I thought they removed PvP maps to redo them or make them better. Listen, I'm not even a PvP main, and you could ask anyone who's a PvP main, but they know that Bungie be lying through their fucking teeth. Kind of odd since it's easy to change server URL since the crew revival. Yeah, let's be honest. I think the people who are competent enough to to bring some of the stuff. Also, you got to think it takes time and money, and Bungie does not have the time nor money to fix their own mistakes. You're talking about the company that ships stuff out broken. Seasonal content, event content, even their own store, the shopping mall, breaks and cracks and has issues. We no longer live in a world where you can the bare minimum of expecting content to come out not broken or without breaking the rest of the game. We no longer live in that world. Those who paid for the content can't enjoy it or go back to doing the activities, and what's worse, Bungie recycles it and sells it as new. Yes, bunch of scoundrels. Beyond Light is one of my fave Destiny 2 DLCs, honestly, but the DCV is the worst decision they ever made, and this decision is haunting them to this day. And it murdered their reputation. Not gonna lie, I'd love to play through the old campaigns again for giggles. Talking with a bunch of other popular Destiny players and streamers, everyone agrees that this is the catalyst that started Destiny's downfall. It's true. And final death. One of the worst, if not the worst, decisions made in gaming industry. Imagine if Treyarch got rid of all the OG maps when Zombie Chronicles released. Damn, yeah. Man, I've been playing too much Destiny 1 to put faith in Bungie. Are you okay? Do you need a friend? You say you need this, you do this hobby, yet you keep doing it more and more. You got a whole 32 viewer, not counting me. You should try try a real job, grifter. Gary White, how much dick do you suck? It's funny. You call me do you even know what a grifter is? Do you let's Gary White's upset because they want to defend Bungie. By the way, they want to defend Bungie. No, don't be upset. Bungie did nothing wrong. Bungie did nothing wrong. This is you. This is you, Gary. This is you. Leave alone the multi-billion-dollar company. All right, education time. What is a grifter? A person who engages in petty or small-scale swindling. Swindling. Yes. What else? I saw him as a grifter who preys upon people. What are we preying upon? We are talking about... It's funny. Bungie is a grifter because they prey upon people like you who are retarded and you are willing to just throw your money and support their way. Bungie is a grifter. They're swindling you and you're letting them. You are correct. Bungie is the grifter. It's not even that's not even what people say anymore. Could you stop things? What is a grifter in modern day? What is the modern day? Modern day grifter is someone who uses deception to gain money or influence. Definitely not doing that. Often by building trust and exploiting it. The term is frequently applied to figures in politics and business. If you think that I'm talking politics, you're out of your fucking mind. Business. Well, this sure isn't a job for me because I literally have a job. Who are perceived to prioritize personal gain over public interest. Funny enough, Gary, it's funny. Public interest. I'm actually talking about, we can take this down. Gary's already probably gone. We're talking about scummy practices that hurt the interest of the consumer. That's the funny part, Gary. I'm not actually talking about the public interest, the interest of the consumer, the community, gamers. I stand by the gamer, for the gamer, the rights of the gamer to buy a product and be able to hold on to it, to be able to play it and not have a billion-dollar company take it away and give you the middle finger. Now, Gary would rather you be one of these people. Right here. This is what they want you to be. They want you to be in front of Bungie's headquarters, and they want you to be this. D for dumbass. That's right. They want you to be the dumbass. They want you to be a billion-dollar company's doormat. Instead of, doing what's right for you and right for the community. Yeah, I see Saw. Instead of being condescending, how about you write about how he's wrong? Exactly. That's the beautiful thing is you're a grifter, yet doesn't give any example of how I'm grifting and actually doesn't actually counter any of my points, which my points, again, are widely received and accepted by the community. Most people would agree this is not okay. So I don't even know what we're grifting here other than Bungie. Bungie's grifting here. I mean, we can create a class action lawsuit against them. Who's in? Brother, you can't. You can't. Listen, we all know Bungie stole from the community, but legally and loopholes and there's no legislation, which is exactly why people are pushing for stop killing games. And I will always, even though I'm not European, I would absolutely promote that as much as possible. This is the day the game began to die. The worst idea in gaming history. The new player experience was awful after RW and Forsaken. Players missed out on the vital lore. I remember after my hiatus, I completely lost what happened. My clan said, look up, my name is Bai for lore content. Bungie dropped the ball. What's wild is they said the destination screen would be overcrowded if they kept everything. Just look at Warframe and their destination screen. I also think it's fucking funny because look at the portal. They're like, guys, we're going to solve the overcrowding by just leaving. By the way, shout out to Gary for calling me a grifter, and he already ran away like a bitch. Shout out to Gary. Grifting and running away, the start of the downfall. Warframe has this, by the way. Again, there's no excuse. This works. By the way, you can't just go to Ceres or Phobos or the Derelict. You actually do step by step. By the way, the reason why this works, because all this is free. Bungie doesn't want to make content free anymore. They want to make sure that you, that's right, you spend money on content that's now irrelevant. Instead of making the Light and Darkness saga free so anyone can just jump in and play and they can make a proper new player experience, they want to make you focus on the new shit and their store. If anyone's wrong about this, it should be easy to counter their arguments. I forgot who, but a movie reviewer said, if you like the casuals have to do homework to understand your movie, you have failed is the game version. Yeah, you shouldn't have to do homework to figure out how to get invested in Destiny. It should just be intuitive like that. Never forget when Luke Smith said the DCV, like it was going to be cool, but really they shook. They did. They're like the DCV. Luke Smith, I gotta see this. Luke Smith on the DCV. I feel like this is AI, so I'm not gonna. Luke Smith has been associated with Destiny 2 content vaulting and related design, fixing potential future changes. I want to watch the video where he came out and swung this shit. I want him to swing Destiny director's cut. Yeah, this is way back in the day. Data sauce converting light. So yeah, whatever. Came out of the DCV to ensure us Destiny 2 isn't ending. I felt that. Damn, a year ago we were like, we might, things are not standing very strong. Let there be no noise. Wait, did he just like blank out his shit? He literally just went into the shadow realm. He deleted everything, zero post. He's just like he's gone. Luke Smith is just gone. Luke Smith's content vaulted himself. content vaulted himself. Does he reply to anything? No, he actually did. It's all gone. He content vaulted himself. Holy, and it's the real one because you see a bunch of like people who follow him. No way. Did he pull a Homer, went into the bushes? Oh, that's such a good meme. Homer and bushes gif. Yep. This is what he pulled. This is this is Luke Smith. He dipped out and he's like, nope. Fucking not touching that shit. He sacrificed himself to kill Destiny 2. Dude, he was working on the other game. Good for him. Dude, he was working on the other Destiny game or spitballing, right? Well, actually, we don't know exactly how far they went with that other spin-off game. We don't know, right? Obviously, it was enough for him to jump ship because they canceled that. But yeah, Edge of Fate is worse than 2 tokens in the blue. Everyone remembers that. I think Edge of Fate will, for just the portal alone, even though I think it's completely 2 separate things, I do think that it will be remembered as just the downfall of Destiny. Destiny 2 Lightfall's preload had the best server down screen. It's funny. It's hard to remember good things about Beyond Light because this is when the content vaulting happened. And I completely forgot this. We seek an end to suffering. Why do you resist? This was our fave. Zer's fucked off and he's taking Destiny 2 with him. Go touch grass because once the witness shows up, your ass is going to be glued to that chair. That's obviously fake, but that's funny. Bro, that's the final shape. Beyond Light, I'm sure. Is it? Wasn't Bale's message light cannot save you? Seek us out on Europa? Maybe. That was the one for BLO, but was in Shadowkeep. Adding real dev monologues to the game is absolute cinema. Especially Scourge makes no sense. Like 9% reuse assets that are still in the game. Yeah, I do think that Scourge being removed is weird because they really regurgitate a lot of the Scourge assets. And even the Berserkers are in the game. The Briggs are in the game. The Fallen are in the game. Like the only thing that they would have to remake is like the Chanel area and maybe the racetrack. But Scourge was a small raid. And the biggest chunk of it that's used for 2 encounters is they still use the assets. I don't even understand how Scourge could not be like bringing back Scourge. I think would be like an easy win for them to be like, hey, here's this raid, the new raid, guys. You know, I don't know. Like it just felt like. Also, can we just talk about how they could have easily tied Ash and Iron, not to the Plague Lands, but to the whole assets of like Maya Sundaresh going to looking for the Black Forge content and bringing back the raid, or like doing like a rehash of it instead of the Fallen. It's the Vex version or whatever the fuck you want to do. Like, I don't know. They could have easily done something other than Plague Lands that wouldn't piss off 90% of the community. Do they have anyone skilled enough to make a racetrack at all? I mean, they don't want to make, that's how much Bungie doesn't like Sparrow Racing. They're refusing to put the racing back, even in Scourge of the Past. It's ironic. Scourge of the Past is a great name to explain how Bungie feels about anything that's been content vaulted. It's a Scourge. It's also Bungie to give us reasons to play older content. I'm pretty convinced it was just an excuse. Garden, I think, aged okay, but frankly, I'm a little biased. Still Scourge a lot. Played Garden for Div. Never touched it again. Awful fucking raid. I'd gladly exchange Scourge and Leviathan for Nightmares and Garden. Base. All right. Well, this was an interesting memory. You know, we could talk our heads off about all the content that Bungie removed. Oh yeah. All the content that Bungie removed. By the way, they did make everything free October 1st. Just so we're clear, they did make everything free and then removed it. That was their workaround. They made everything free, and then shortly after they removed all of it, saying, "Hey, it was free anyway, so we didn't steal your money." We didn't steal your money. It was very obvious what they were doing. I have to be fair and make that note of that. People like to forget, but Bungie did make certain aspects free. Now, not everything was free, by the way. Not everything was free. They did make, I think Red War was free. But like Forsaken, I think you still had to pay. The raids you had to pay. Like there were still certain aspects that you still had to pay to be able to access. But they did make a shit ton of stuff free. And then they removed it. They brought back 0 Hour. They can bring back Scourge. Dude, they can bring back a lot. People don't realize that Bungie can bring back a lot. It's not that they can't do it, it's that they don't want to do it because it costs money and time. And Bungie actively wants to make money. But what they don't realize is that if they don't fix their mistakes first, no one gives a shit about the new stuff. They think that's why they're doing Star Wars, because they think that's enough of a band-aid to fix the situation. It's not. Anyways, hit the like button, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel for more. As always, let me know what you think. I'll see you in the next video. Huzzah!